So we may have gone out in Edinburgh last night, but what a glorious morning to be alive. I've woken up and I'm just walking to go and get breakfast with Shaun and Chris, and there's blue skies, crisp air, it's fresh, I love it, and what a great way to wake up. So today's going to be a busy day. We are off to Livingston, just outside of Edinburgh. We're going to go see Paul and Jacine from Matugga Rum and Liv Rum, learn all about how they make their rum. After that, we're going to be going to Contagious back in Edinburgh, and we're going to be working on our own branding. Yeah, we definitely went out last night. I know what you're thinking. Why is Lewis wearing such an awesome t-shirt that says he finished a half marathon? My legs are killing me. I did a half marathon, and I know that that's why you tuned in to listen to this. I did my first ever half marathon in Nottingham, the Robin Hood half marathon. 13.1 miles, 21.1 kilometres. I'm a hero.
So in the winter months it's harder to get going, but we get great flavour because it takes a few days longer to get the yields. In summer it goes much quicker, but the flavours aren't quite as developed.
I love this. We have jumped straight into the geeky stuff. We're talking through temperature control and fermentation and wild yeast. This is Drew. Drew is the distiller here, having trained at Heriot Watt in Edinburgh. Drew is very kindly showing us around today as Paul is busy playing Mario Karts, and Jacine is doing a tasting with some guests behind us. So it is all go here. We've just had it explained that anything with a blue clip on it means it's fermenting, and the temperature on this is really warm. They pitch it at a warm temperature, and then the yeast itself is sustaining that as it's doing its fermentation. It's producing heat, shall I say. And this is just the raw molasses underneath. So I've just had it explained that the molasses is coming from as close to and often from Uganda, integral to this brand, Matugga being the town that Paul is from in Uganda. But yeah, how exciting is that? So they've got African molasses, wild yeast fermentations going on, hot fermentations. I love it, just fermenting away in IBCs here. You can just see outside as well. Look at this, this is like the home of rum right now. I am loving this. Just IBCs of molasses and probably some finished spirit as well. I think I can see some of that behind me.
We leave our fermentations open,
yeah,
and that allows wild yeast and bacteria to form inside.
Why is there a load of flies all over it?
We allow the flies to get in. They're the carriers of the yeast and the bacteria. We've formed a layer on top of the IBC, which is all our bacteria, our mother. That's where our flavour is being developed. That's where it comes from. The longer we leave it, the more the flavours develop. The tastier the rum we get, to a point. If we leave them too long, or if we leave our IBCs too dirty, our yeast won't take off. We won't get rum.
Quick summary of what Drew's just told us there is that effectively when they have an IBC of molasses shipped over from Africa, it comes with some natural bacteria and yeast in there. The bacteria will grow and develop, and they're important because they help develop flavour, but when they grow too much they then strangle the yeast out so that the yeast doesn't ferment as efficiently as it would with no bacteria in there. What we're looking at here is that bacteria that they deliberately allow to build up that affects the flavour profile of their rum. Without that, you can end up with very neutral, very clean rum, whereas what they're after is aromatic, full flavoured, idiosyncratic rum that they've managed to cultivate and allow nature to do its thing, to allow all these amazing flavours to develop without having to add flavours to it. It smells amazing. So burnt coffee notes and a slightly sort of stout porter type thing. It's very different to a lot of the other smells we're getting in the space. So one of the fascinating things about Matugga is that they are using open flames on their alembic stills. They have been distilling here, and over here you can see their second wash still. Inside here you can see that they don't clean it out because the wash is acidic. It's kind of doing a lot of the work for them. They get this little brush and they just scrub out the bits that may have burnt on the bottom because it is a naked flame that's heating it from underneath. So they ferment to 5%. They put it into this first wash still here, and that's going to take it up to about 20% when it comes off the still. They then have to run it through a second time, and that gets up to about 45%. They could bottle that if they wanted, but they're choosing to run it through a third time and take it up to about 75%. So it's a triple distilled rum here. They then filter it through some carbon to make sure there's nothing carrying through other than their delicious rum. This is really, really exciting stuff. The direct flame onto the base, onto the bottom is so important, because actually what that does is it creates something called a Maillard reaction. It's like not stirring your porridge. You're going to overheat it, you're going to slightly burn stuff, and you're going to create and generate flavours that you wouldn't create if you were steam jacketing or with a coil inside and warming it slowly. But you can just about see, so it heats up in this pot here, carries over the neck, comes through, gets condensed in the cold water condensing worm tub there, and you can just about see there's the first few drops coming off the still. I can smell it already. I love it. So the neck actually lifts off so they can clean it out, as you saw on the other pot there with no neck on it. The way they seal it is to make a little paste. This was made with rye flour and water. Just spread it around the edges so that when it heats up, that then expands and basically creates a seal. That was incredible. They're just filling the still, and the smells coming off it, leaping out of there, just delicious. And I just noticed as well, because of the way they're filling it, the tap is so low that actually they get a lot of the yeast coming out with it. That's about 150 litres of wash they've put into that still. So much work going into creating their rum here. We got rum, boys! This is what distilleries need. They need music playing in them, especially rum distilleries. Rum is fun. It really puts a smile on the face. Just walking through the door, you get the smells, you get the music. This is a rum building right here. This is a place for rum lovers.
So to determine how long we age any of our spirits is all done off taste. So we routinely sample everything. There's no alternative. That's the best method.
We just asked about angel share, and obviously in Scotland it varies between sort of 1 and 2% traditionally. This part of Scotland, specifically Livingston, specifically this warehouse in Livingston, this production facility, they end up with about 10%. And we're not sure if that's because of the temperature fluctuations or because of the staff tastings. This is Matugga. They've hosted us so wonderfully. It is literally a party here. I absolutely love this. The stills are going on in the background, barrels are aging over there, the bottling can wait. We're going to have a little bop right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Bye guys.